Hi, I'm Steve Willey, author of Colorful Leadership. I've recently worked with some large companies that are making a transition from traditional project management to Agile. In the process, I've discovered there are some challenges that they're facing along the way, and I want to share 3 of these challenges with you today. Now, before I do that, I want to define traditional project management. It's known as waterfall. You get your requirements, you have a phase change, it goes down the waterfall, and then you do your design, it has a phase change, it goes down the waterfall, and then you do your development, and so forth. And the idea is you never go back up. You want to get the requirements right. You want to get the design right in the first place. Now, Agile is different. You're going down the rapids. The business people and the developers are in it together. They're moving down the rapids fast and making things go, and they're taking some chances along the way. Another way of looking at it is how the Project Management Institute is defining Agile. They say it's iterative and incremental. Iterative means we get feedback on unfinished work and make changes, and incremental means we finish work and get it in place before the whole project is done. By contrast, they call it predictive. We're trying to predict the future with waterfall, where we do a lot of upfront planning, we do it all in a single pass with one delivery, and it's highly sequential. Sequential is an interesting term. I want to explore that. Think about baseball. At any one time, what are most of the players doing? They're standing, waiting for the ball. One player has the ball and everybody else is waiting. And when they execute, they better execute right because they're going to let the team down if they don't. And the baseball game is over when all 9 innings are played. Contrast that with basketball. It's random. If the players were all standing around waiting for the ball to come, the coach would say, start moving, shoot the basket. It doesn't matter if you miss, somebody will catch the rebound. And by the way, the game ends when the buzzer rings, not when some other event happens. It's time driven. So we look at the two and look at time as the driver. Anthony Gregor, back in the 1980s, did some research and discovered about half the people are sequential in nature, symbolized by a clock. Minutes, hours, days at a time, step-by-step processes, linear thinking, that's about half the population. He says the other half is very random. They think about now. The past is over, the future is just kind of a seed that's unknown, but we do have now. And they do things multidimensional. They don't do design, develop, test. They might do some development, they might do some designing, they might do some testing, some more development. It looks very random to the sequential people. Now, adding to that, Gregor said some of us do a lot of thinking before we act, and some of us do a lot of acting before we think. He calls the thinkers abstract and the doers concrete. And he says that the concrete sequential people like a step-by-step linear progression of activities. And the abstract sequential people like to do their research. They want to know what's going on before they start anything. He found the abstract random people speak from the heart. They use intuition. Now, intuition is just as good as logic. It's just different. It's our whole brain thinking. And the concrete random people like to try it. They like to get their hands in it. They like to experiment a lot. Now, can you see the conflict and the challenges of these people working together? When we had waterfall, we told the people on the left hand, you're doing it the wrong way. You must wait to do anything until we finish the design. And the reaction is we've gone to Agile, where we're doing the opposite. We get to be random, but we're leaving behind the people that want well-researched information. Fortunately, the concrete sequential people are happy because we have processes like Scrum, where it's predictable. We do some planning, we do development, we do demonstration, we do a daily stand-up, but we're leaving behind the people that want well-researched information. And this is a challenge. What do you do with those people? They're in the executive ranks, they're in the teams. We have to understand how they're thinking, and they have to kind of let go of some of that. The next big challenge is how we define teamwork. I'm sure you've seen this picture before. It's always a teamwork picture. Everybody's perfectly aligned and rowing together. But you notice they're all faced backwards. The guy at the back is steering the boat and setting the pace and making the decisions. This is a 20th century look of teamwork. Now, it's still valid. The Agile look is different. We're in the raft together. We've got the business partners, we've got the developers. We're all going down the rapids fast. It's highly collaborative. So you look at the two together, They got the random side, the sequential side, the collaborative, the alignment. Can you see the conflict of people that are used to everybody being aligned, and now suddenly there's a lot of random stuff going on? The third thing I want to discuss is the triple constraints, often shown as a triangle in traditional project management: cost, time, and scope. You're paid as a project manager to be on time, on budget, full scope. By contrast, in Agile, it's an open scope. We have a fixed time, a fixed budget, and an unknown scope. Can you imagine the people that are highly sequential want to know through? They want to know, well, what are you going to have at the end of the year? And the Agile people say, I don't know. Give me some money, give me some time, we'll have good stuff, and it'll meet business needs. It creates a great challenge. Now, my thinking on this is that it's a lot like Monopoly. Agile, you build a house, you collect rent, that's the incremental part, you get value a bit at a time, and over time you get another house, and over time eventually you build a hotel. But you don't know exactly when or how. That's how the real world works in many ways, and that's how Agile works. So I pull it together. The first challenge is time. How are you sequential, are you random? The second challenge is teamwork. Are you collaborative or are you aligned? And then finally, the triple constraints: an open scope versus a closed scope. Now, my thinking on all of this is our goal is to move to the center. If you're a highly sequential company moving to Agile, you don't need to go all the way. You just need to become more Agile. Move towards the center, where the red, green, and blue light come together and make white light. That's the goal. Work together in that way. Thank you.